Hello friends, in the Excelsior video that I did a few weeks back, I mentioned that the machine that my grandmother's Kenwood was replaced with when I sucked up the toilet water with it was a Hoover Freedom, and that reminded me that I have a boxed Freedom in the attic. So I thought, the ideal opportunity to bookend a video series. So in this video, let's check out what we've got in this box. Now, I bought this Freedom many years ago from eBay, and to be honest with you, I don't think I've ever actually taken it out of the box. In fact, no, I know I haven't ever taken it out of the box. It's just been in here for years, so I think it's in pretty good condition. I mean, I'm not going to say it's like new, because it has definitely been used, but I would say it's probably the closest to a brand new boxed Freedom that I'm ever going to get. I don't think I spent a huge amount of money on it either. It wasn't crazily priced. I think it was a buy it now on eBay, but I can't remember how much I paid for it because it was probably about 10 years ago. So it's just been sat in this box for 10 years. I've never taken it out. I've never turned it on. I don't even know if it works. So I think in this video we're going to find out if it does or not. So that's going to be quite interesting. And we've got a few other bits and pieces in this box as well to have a look at. We've got quite a lot of stuff in here, which is pretty cool. So yeah, let's change the camera angle and we'll have a look in the box. Here we go then, let's check out and see what we've got inside. Actually, before we do that, it'd be quite nice to have a closer look at the box. So this is not the same style of box that I remember my grandmother's Freedom coming in. This is like a cartoony version of the Freedom. My grand's one, because I can still picture it in my mind's eye of my dad walking down the driveway carrying this brand new Freedom. It was like a photograph of the Freedom, and there was a great big Hoover sign here on it, and it was a picture of the red Freedom. Now this isn't the one that my gran had. This is a slightly later version, because Gran's machine I think must have been made in 1981. It was the last one of that style. But I'll show you why this particular machine is different to what Gran had. So anyway, that's enough waffling. God, I waffle, don't I? Let's have a quick look inside now. Let's fold these flaps back and we can have a quick look at what we get. So we've got a couple of cream plastic rods here, as you would expect. From memory, my Gran's machine had the aluminium metal style rods with it. So this is like the cost reduced Mark II Freedom, really. And we have a genuine packet of Hoover dust bags, which is quite nice to see. There's only one bag left in there. And if you look here, you'll see it has the Mark II version of the card, and I'll show you why this is Mark II later on when we actually get down and dirty into the machine. We've got the instruction book as well here so this is the Hoover Freedom 750 cleaner, and there's two model numbers listed here, S4174 and S4176, and I don't know what 4176 is. I do have another one of these manuals in my collection, and if you read through it, there's no mention of 4176. Sometimes they'll put in brackets like not S4174 if there's a feature of that particular machine that does not apply to the base model, but there's nothing like that in here. So yeah, this is just like a Freedom 750 manual. It doesn't actually talk about any different models, which is a bit strange. Now we've got some tools. I think we're missing the crevice tool, but we've got the standard issue Hoover dusting brush here and the all-purpose tool. Now these have been used. You can see that they've been used. Probably not a great deal, so that's good. Then what else have we got? Let's put this down there. We have the floor tool, the classic floor tool. I remember this floor tool. This is very popular. Fitted to an awful lot of Hoover machines from the mid-70s onwards. And for a very long time as well, you would find this style floor tool on Freedom and Compact. Constellation had it as well. Did Sensotronic have it? No, I don't think Sensotronic ever did. No. Yeah, it was on a lot of machines. It's in really nice shape as well, actually. Look, there's hardly any marks or anything on it. It's lovely. It's like it's hardly been used. Let's put that down there. Then we have the hose, which is a standard double stretch Hoover hose with the with this peg style arrangement, which dates back to 1963, I think, on the very first convertible, sorry, or the Dial-O-Matic model 1100, which is actually down there. That's one of the machines I've got down there, and I think that is where this style of connector first appeared. So that was used for a very, very long time. Now, interestingly, on this hose, there's no suction regulator, and you kind of think to yourself, oh, okay, well maybe this is the wrong hose for this machine. But if you look on the instruction manual, and if you look there on the bent end, just there, look, there's no regulator for the suction. So you had one setting. You get everything, and that's your lot. Yeah, quite nice. Again, not too bad. Not much use. Couple of scratches on it, bit of dirt, but then it's been in storage for an awfully long time. So let's just pop that out of the way, and then we can have a look at the Freedom itself. And here it is. Here is our Freedom. Now I'm just going to pick this up and just move the box out of the way. And put that down there. I've got to be careful with that box. You don't see many of them anymore. And here he is. Let's just bring the camera down a little bit so we can see him. Yeah, there we go. Pretty much a bog standard base model Freedom. Now, the serial number on this dates it to July of 1982. And let's have a look, because I think this instruction booklet has actually got, yes it has, look, it's got writing on it. Now it'd be interesting to see if this book is actually for this machine, because do you know what, I have a funny feeling that it's not, and in fact I can see immediately that it's not. So what this book is for a Freedom that was made in June of 82. What did I say this was? This is July 82. Yeah, the serial numbers do not match up at all. So quite why this instruction book is with this cleaner, I have no idea, because this book did not come with this Freedom, which is quite interesting. Now, whichever machine this belongs to, I've got a funny feeling in my water that I have another one of these Freedoms somewhere. So this book may be for that machine, but whatever it was purchased from the Midlands Electricity Board, the 5th of March 1983. Wow. God, so long ago. It's amazing, isn't it? But yeah, but that book is not for this particular cleaner. So I'm going to change the camera now, and then we will check out this beauty in more detail. Okay, here we go. So yeah, we can look at this machine a bit better now, so we're not quite so close to it. There's a bit of hair sticking out there, not very pleasant. I've always loved the colour scheme of these Freedoms, these basic models that were red. So they've got a lovely red and black finish to them. I think that's really nice. It's such a 70s cleaner. Freedom first appeared on the market in 1973. That was its original debut in its original 4 models. So this particular cleaner is essentially the original Freedom, the S4174, because it has no fancy bells and whistles on it, apart from the addition of the bag ejector mechanism, which is this funny piece of black plastic here, which I will show you very shortly. They are really simple machines. It's literally a dust bag, a motor, some fans and a switch. The quality of it is not great, and I think saying it's not great is probably being generous. These cleaners were not long-lived, let's put it that way. The dust bag was just too small. It was such a tiny bag. The bag is like that really. That's all the space you've got for your bag to sit. There's a filter here. Maybe it's slightly down, just below the bag full. So yeah, it's probably about there, like so. So you've got these tiny little dust bags, and I remember when my gran had hers, the dust bags used to just burst. It burst all the time, and you hear this boom, and then suddenly you get this poof of dust out the top filter grill here. And of course my gran and my parents, they didn't know what they were doing, so they just say, oh, the bag's broken in the Hoover again. And they take out the old bag, turn the machine upside down, give it a shake like that, and put a new bag in. So of course half of the rubbish, half of the dirt that came out the original bag that burst was still in the machine, and it was all over the filter. There's a pre-motor filter in there, and of course stuck underneath the post-motor filter, which is under this grill. So the poor machine was just choked up completely. But those bags were horrific. I think they were using like really cheap bags that you would get down the market. These Hoover branded ones are not too bad. I mean, you can see there how big the bag is. It just kind of goes like that, so it's not massive at all. And for a cylinder cleaner, yeah, you kind of want something a bit bigger than that. It's just really tiny. It's almost like a joke bag, if you know what I mean. It's rubbish. But anyway, that's by the by. So I want to just show you the bag ejector mechanism. Now this is what marks this machine out as a Mark II Freedom. The original luxury machines, God, it's in really nice shape actually. Just looking at it here, there's a few little tiny nicks. This has not had much use at all. It's really surprising. These can look absolutely terrible because they're very long, you see. It's a very long cleaner. And they tend to get bashed around on like on corners and such like. The hose makes it really hard to pull as well, because, well, not pull, but to steer. So you're vacuuming away, and then you drop the suction on the cleaner head. The hose contracts, and the machine just shoots itself forward and smacks into a wall or a corner or something. So it's really nice. I'm very surprised. I don't know why I waited 10 years to actually take this machine out of its box, but there we go. So this is the bit that I want to talk to you about, this bag ejector mechanism. This is very much a cost-reduced version of the bag eject. Have we got a dust bag fitted? Oh no, we haven't. Okay. There we go. Let's take the machine's face off. There's a bit of fluff in there. So you take the cleaner's face off like so, and then you're left with this screw. Oh no, there is a bag. Oh no, there we go. No, there is a bag in there, but it's stuck. Brilliant. In fact, I'm not entirely sure that bag's on the right way round. Just let me check a second. Oh no, it is. No, it is. It is. Right, let's see if we can get this out. How full is it? No, it's not very full at all. No, it's not much. It's a little bit messy. The filter looks okay. There's a little bit of dirt and muck on it, but it's not too bad at all. I mean, look, even in there you can see, even in the bag chamber, it's incredibly clean for its age. It's amazing, really. I am very, very surprised. Very pleased as well, actually. I must tell you about how you take these cleaners apart later on. That is something else, actually. So, if we just go back to the machine's face, a little bit dirty around the side where it's been stored, you have this lever here. Now this lever moves up and down like so. And inside it has this very cheap and nasty piece of white plastic. You see it there? So if I move that up and down, you can see it moving up and down. Now this is a massively cost-reduced version of the original bag eject mechanism. In fact, actually, I might show you an early Freedom in one of the following videos, so we can actually compare them and to see how much they changed. You could also get them, well, actually more commonly on the earlier machines was they had no bag eject mechanism whatsoever. So this face was just completely flat. There was no lever here at all. I prefer those ones, to be quite honest with you. I think this kind of looks a bit ugly. It's like the machine's got an eyebrow. It's like a unibrow, which I would have if I didn't do some preening. And I don't think it really suits the machine. The earlier one, the earlier red one that didn't have this, was a much more attractive face, I think, anyway. Yeah. And the bag is sealed better as well. See, this is the other thing. There's no membrane on these bags. If you look, it's literally just a cardboard opening there. There's no rubber membrane to seal it on. And the dirt would leak around. You can see, if you see there, that's where the bag goes through. And the dirt would just leak around this little bit of plastic here. It's almost like a conical shape, but it's ever so slight. And it's just not a good design, really. It's not a good idea. The earlier ones, where you had like just a pipe. It was just a pipe that stuck up like a neck. It was probably about 3 inches long, and you used to push the bag over that neck, and that was a much better seal. It just kind of sums up how cheap Freedom was. It was, yeah, not good, not good. So anyway, how you put these bags on? Well, it's really quite simple. You have this cardboard shape here. You sort of hook it in to the bottom, so you've got like those little tabs. Those little tabs hook in like so, and then you push the bag on, and then you kind of clip it under the teeth at the top, so the teeth keep it in place. And it's just not very good, and I can feel that is not. You've really got to push it on, and then the bag is attached to the machine's face, like so. Now, obviously, the idea here is that when this bag is full and it hasn't exploded, you would remove the machine's face with the full bag on it, carry it over to your bin, push up on the release, and the bag drops into the bin. Now that is clever. I like that. But unfortunately, the application of it is rubbish. And, you know, the earlier machines had this ridiculously complex spring-loaded arm mechanism. Rather than push up on this, you push in on the earlier machines. And this was all sealed up here. This was as a metal plate. Quite expensive to make, I would have thought, with this sprung-loaded arm that would sort of fling the bag off. You push it in and you'd fling, Barbara, fling, like so, and the bag would ideally just shoot off somewhere. It was like over there, your bin's here, your bag's over there, poof, like that. But it never worked. It never ever worked, because the cardboard would grip onto the neck pipe, and then you would go, come on, and then in the end you just go, oh, just pull it off, throw it in the bin. They tried, bless them. They tried to come up with a good idea. Well, the idea was good. The application was absolutely flipping terrible. But as I say, I'll probably show you an early Freedom close up. I have done a video of one. The purple electronic machine, I think. That's got the push bag eject on it. So it might be worth bringing that one down, and we'll check it out, because I'd really like to show you that mechanism. So anyway, let's get this face back on the machine. Oh, actually, before I do that, I just want to talk to you about how awful Freedom is to work on. Now, my friend Jeff, he used to hate these. When they used to come into the shop, he would always go, oh, Freedom, oh, I hate the Freedom. And they are an absolute nightmare, frankly. They've got all these screws, 2, 4, 6, 8 screws. Yeah, there's 8 screws that run down the side of the machine down here, like so. And they abut these steel. I don't know if you can see. Can you see that there? These steel bits here that run up to the top section. So the the machine is in two halves basically. You've got the top half and the lower half. And then these steel arms are actually screwed into the top half here. So to make it even more expensive to make, you've got double the amount of screws. So that's 16 screws there that have to be screwed in when the machine's made. It's just such a stupid idea. And then you have the cost of the steel braces. I suppose they're braces or connectors maybe, that have to be screwed in underneath as well. And it's just ridiculous. And you don't take the top off Freedom. Anybody who's seen the Secret Life of Machines vacuum cleaner video will note that Tim Hunkin had a Freedom to do his experiments with, and when he took it apart, he took the bottom off. So you have to, you pardon the expression, go in from the bottom, undo all of these screws, and then you pull the lower section up, and then that exposes the motor here. And then if we had a flex winder, the flex winder mechanism would be here. You've got the bag chamber. Now that in and of itself is not particularly difficult to take it apart, but when you come to put it back together again, it is a nightmare. It is so hard, even on the basic Freedoms, the machines that don't have electronics or a flex winder, they are so fiddly to get the two halves of the shell back together and lined up properly, mainly because you have two sort of what are they called? Bulkheads. That's it, bulkheads. There's two bulkheads here. There's one here and there's one here. So this is a plastic one that supports the motor filter. And then there's one here which is a very thin metal bulkhead. And they have grooves in the lower section of the body, and you have to line them up exactly. You've got to be absolutely spot on, because if you get it even slightly wrong, you cannot get the bottom of the body back in place. It is so frustrating. I personally really dislike working on Freedoms. As much as I love them, I love Freedoms. They are one of my favourite cylinder machines, but working on them, oh God. And don't even get me started on the motors. The motors are awful, because they're a backward motor. The fans are here, and the armature and the top of the motor is here. And it's a reverse system. Now that motor is fascinating. I actually want to do a video just on that motor itself, because it is really interesting and it's really clever why Hoover made that motor. But the problem with it is, rather than on a normal motor where you've got the fans first and then the electrics where the air comes through the fans and is blown over the motor to cool it, this motor is sucking the air into it. Now, the problem with that is, when the bag bursts, what's it doing? It's sucking the dirt and dust straight into the armature and the field coil and the carbon brush and the top bearing. Oh, is it any surprise why the Freedom did not last? Bags that explode, a motor that's backwards, sucking all the dirt and dust straight into it. Quelle surprise. Yeah, not brilliant. And that is why Freedom did not last. Anyway, let's just get this face back in. Pop that back in there. Oh, it is very tall. There we go. Pop that down. Oh, that's the other cost-reduced thing as well. This clip here to hold the machine's face in. On the earlier cleaners, this is like a nice metal dual-action clip. But this is the cost-reduced one, where it's literally just a flexible piece of plastic. Just really nasty. And you kind of got to pull it out as well. It doesn't work properly. It's just rubbish. So I think what we need to do is plug this cleaner in. Just move that manky old bag. Plug this in, see if it works, because I don't know if it does. Now obviously I haven't taken this apart, so we've still got a suppressor in there. That could go bang. Oh, okay, right, it's off. Well, it's either off or it's very quiet or it doesn't work. But you ready? Suppressor. that's not bad actually. For a Freedom, that's actually really, really good. There's no noticeable top bearing wear there. It would make a horrific noise if there was. So that's good. I can tell that the bottom bearing, which is the bore race, is a bit dry because it's got a slight grumble on it. But all in all, it's really good actually. That's really good. Yeah, it's in really nice shape. Even the bag full piston works, which is really surprising because they used to block up with dust and fluff and they used to jam. So seeing that working is a minor miracle. Yeah, so really pleased with that. This purchase that I made all of those years ago. Still the mystery of this instruction book, which is very strange. But yeah, there we go. Yeah, so I think what we'll do... we'll call it there and say, yeah, okay, good. It's out of the box. It works great. I think we should go and do some vacuuming with it now. Actually, I think it'd be quite nice to use this machine. So yeah, I'm gonna take it into the lounge, get set up, do some cleaning, and yeah, there we go. I shall leave you with that. Thanks ever so much for watching. Don't forget to do the usual, commenting, subscribing, and liking, because I love hearing from you, and it really does help me out. So, you guys take care, and I will see you soon. Cheers. Bye.